Well, let's just speak about us. Let's just be frank since we're having a good conversation. A lot of people say we, people of color, you know, we've been crabs in a barrel. And I really believe that showing the other side of the people who don't move in that direction and actually extend the ladder like you just mentioned. How important was that for you to actually put somebody on or hire somebody or, you know, different things like that?
That is foundational to the company and to how we do business.
Okay.
To the movies that we're making, to the people that we're hiring, to all of what we're doing. And so if you, again, look at what's on our slate, you look at who's on our team, you look at who we're doing business with, it's all that all day.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that was important to share. You do have a mic.
My name is Talia Boone, and I run Intersect, which is a tactical solutions agency, and we operate at the intersection of sports entertainment, corporate consumer brands, and social impact.
Okay.
And that manifests itself in a number of different ways across the industries, but as it relates to the conversation we're having now, what we do is we work with TV, film studios, content creators to enact next step actioning to the awareness that the film projects bring. So when we're talking about, you know, representation on the screen and bringing attention to important social injustices and things that happen to our people, like the brown people around the country, around the world, we create opportunities to help the consumer and the viewers and the citizens understand how they can actually enact change in those areas. So,
speaking of sports, I want to touch on this, being that you're an expert in that arena. You don't have to go into it if you don't want to, but how did you feel when Jay-Z became a part of the NFL? Was that something that you were cheering for, or you were just frowning, or because I noticed you said that you didn't like making people that had money more money, you know, that weren't trying to push the agenda forward. So do you think that that's a position that he can actually push the agenda forward, or was it, you know, like, how do you feel about that being on the inside?
So this is what I'll say. It's interesting that you ask. I'm going to say it as diplomatic a way as possible. I'm rocking with Rock Nation on that. And the reason being is it's for exactly the reason of what we do, right? Jay made a really good point in the press conference that a lot of people were upset about when he talked about, you know, what Colin did was he brought awareness to the issue.
Absolutely.
And I think what people forget so many times is that there are two sides to every movement. There's awareness and then there's action. I think it's great because I feel like he is now coming into the action for Rock Nation is going to come in and actually deploy those funds in the communities where we actually need it.
Absolutely.
I got a simple question. If a bunch of guys are watching football and then one woman walks into the room, what happens? It changes completely.
Correct.
So you can't actually make change if you're on the outside the entire time.
100%.
And so if we're not at the table, then we can't actually be a part of it. So it's like, hey, do this, do this, do this, versus no, I'm a part of this, we're talking about it, and I'm not going to shut the fuck up until we actually do something.
Absolutely.
And so we have to have a seat at the table.
Absolutely. Jay-Z always said a line that always stuck with me, and this line came back to me when the whole NFL happened. He said, I can't help the poor if I'm one of them. So I got rich and gave back to me. That's the win-win. So in that regard, if you're still in the trenches, like, how am I going to talk to the high-powered individuals? I have to elevate myself before I elevate everybody that I'm trying to bring apart. So I think that was really important that you touched on that issue.